of who's back next, because we've heard about the return of David Tennant and Catherine Tate and Bernard Cribbins and Jacqueline King, isn't it, who plays Donna's mother, who's Sylvia, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Sylvia.
Yes.
God, name escaped me for a moment. So they're all back, and so you can't help but wonder who may be next now. Rachel Talalay has been confirmed as the director of this special, the Diamond Anniversary special that's coming whenever, in whatever form, and she put it up on Twitter herself. Initially she denied it. She denied that she was directing, tried to duck it, but it all came out in the end. And we've seen her on set, and she seems to be having a blast. The fans love Rachel Talalay, I think, because of some of the episodes that she's directed in the past have been standout favourites of the Capaldi era. And she just always seems to be, well, she's always working for a start. She's done a multitude of other shows since, and several movies in the past, some good, some not so good. But she's very engaged with Doctor Who fans. But if you keep an eye on her Twitter feed, not long before that, she tweeted out this picture of her with a certain Mr. Matt Lucas, Nardole, no less. Well, he is a little bit less because he's been a bit of a crash diet, hasn't he there, Matt Lucas? Looking great. So, Rachel shared this. And you can't help but wonder, was she just catching up with an old friend there, Charlotte, or could there be something else going on, particularly in light of the fact we have David and Catherine back? So I'm now wondering who's coming back next. Could it be people from the Capaldi era? What do you think?
I would be intrigued if it is Nardole, because obviously his two more, I would say, well-known or well-liked companions are Clara and Bill. So it would be interesting what they do with Nardole, but I think that would be a fun dynamic to have that sort of more. Well, actually, it matches if you think about it in a sense, because Tennant and Tate were more of a friend sort of dynamic, and you got more of a friend dynamic with Nardole and the 12th Doctor, I would argue. So I could maybe see the link there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I think he'd. Matt Lucas is somebody that's, as always, Simon, that hyperbole from Stephen Moffat at the time. He said he was the greatest comedian in the world. I've always kind of liked Matt Lucas. I think he seems like a very sweet man. I think he has fun, and I like people who have fun. The character. It took a while for me to warm to the character, if you follow me. So I'm neither here nor there about Matt Lucas coming back, but I would be so down for Peter Capaldi himself. He's also been photographed with Rachel Talalay recently too. What were they meeting for? Where were they meeting? Could this possibly be? Because obviously Capaldi, until very recently, he kept quite quiet about Doctor Who, but it is
a celebration, isn't it, of 60th? So I wouldn't be surprised if Matt and one of the companions came back with Matt, and these two came back. I like Nardole, actually. I didn't like him at first, but he just got funnier and funnier, and I just thought the relationship between him and the Doctor was really good. I mean, until they spoiled it all. But I don't know. I really liked him personally. No. I know Simon didn't.
No, I'm sorry. Really not.
Okay, Simon. Well,
but Capaldi.
Yeah, each to their own.
There's always rumours circulating, Peter Capaldi, aren't there, JT? Because I don't like to phrase it like this, but did he jump of his own free will, or was he pushed? And for a time, he didn't speak about Doctor Who at all. But being a massive Doctor Who fan, and being somebody who engages with the fandom a lot, he may want to come back. He may be coaxed back, particularly by people such as Rachel, particularly by the prospect of maybe working for Russell T Davies. What are your instincts about this?
I think it's all nonsense. Utter nonsense. I mean, these people.
I hope it's not.
They can't even go for lunch or dinner and take a photograph without speculation. And they know it's going to cause the speculation. That's the thing. Yeah. We know that Rachel's in the country and she's filming whatever format this episode is. And she's bound to catch up with friends that she hasn't seen for a while. And these people are friends. They have worked together. I think it's all utter nonsense.
I hope you're wrong, because I'd love to see them back. Definitely.
I can't see it happening. I mean, I can't. I honestly can't see this going on. I know. I hear, or we can speculate that all the Doctor's incarnations, are in some way going to be represented in the 2023 year. But it doesn't necessarily mean that just because. I mean, if you were an actor and if you were a director and you are professional, and there are no contracts signed, you're not going to take a picture of yourself, a selfie of you going for lunch or dinner, you know, and that's not an announcement. That's not a professional way to do things at all. You keep it quiet like they have done recently, because the contracts money has to be looked at, all that professional side of stuff. So you don't just go click.
Well,
and that's what
they might be doing it deliberately, though. You know, like
they are doing it deliberately to get people talking about it. At the top of our show here on this very show, we were talking about how they keep it in the eye without upsetting Mr. Chibnall or Ms. Whitaker. And the way you do that is by things like this, with the staff going out, or Andy Pryor tweeting something saying, "I can't wait," or Neil Gorman saying, "Ooh, I've just spilt something on a bit of plastic." You know, you just don't know. But I do think that fans especially have this habit of just going, and it's
our expectations are naturally going to be heightened. I agree with you, Ian. I think it's only natural. I think it's part of the game. I think if we did this every year, I'd agree it would be ridiculous, but I think the anniversary year,
they do it every year. They do it every year. They've been doing it
they do actually,
every single year. And social media has been helping that traction. I missed the days where we didn't have social media, so you just got what came through. Doctor Who magazine or Celestial Toy Room. I think it's just, and you get these idiots on YouTube that are prepared to dissect everything and then make a big story, and it's complete and utter fabrication and lies. And then people watch these people doing this and then take it as gospel and go off and show up.
No, JT, hold on a second. Earlier on, you were saying you were really excited about Shooty coming back.
That's got nothing to do with fan wishes and fan wank. Absolute nonsense.
No, hold on. Just let other people be excited about other things.
Simon, I don't give a toss if people want to get excited over this.
No, but you are. You're getting stressed about it.
I'm not getting stressed. I'm expressing myself because I'll get stressed if you keep telling me I'm stressed, Sunshine. I'll tell you. But I'm not getting stressed because what I'm doing here is expressing the fact that it's heightened today more so because people will take little pictures like Rachel Talalay having lunch or dinner with somebody, and then they'll make up a whole story about it and put it onto YouTube or Twitter, and then gullible people will take that through. It's nothing to do with being excited. My excitement. I have a problem with it. You can deal with the fact I have a problem with it. I do have a problem with it because I think it's utter bullshit. I think it's nonsense. And I think it's taking things out of context completely. And I think, again, as I've said before on the previous series of this, I think if people just calm down a bit and just enjoy the fact you don't know what's going on, you don't need to have to break a story every 2 minutes. And some of the stuff that these people are breaking is utter rubbish.
Because we now live in an age of channels like BBC News. It used to be BBC News 24, where there's this sort of the news machine must be fed. And I think that obviously social media and new media does feed into that, doesn't it, Charlotte? Maybe we're all guilty of it to some degree.
After all is said and done, I do hope that Matt makes an appearance and Peter makes an appearance and Nadal makes an appearance, because we are talking about 60 years of Doctor Who, and it'd be great to celebrate, and have them appear. I think it would be wonderful. Personally.
Moving on slightly, I can see what you mean, JT, about that photo.
It's a shame that people in the chat can't see what I mean. But I'm just sticking my guns on this. You cannot listen to people on YouTube and take it as gospel. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get at.
You're on YouTube.
You're very welcome to it.
So we've got pictures. So just to move on a little. So from that picture, which, as you said, was taken at lunch, JT, and you would think that they are professionals. They know people are going to speculate. Here I am with my friend and colleague, Peter Capaldi. It'd be very gullible to not think that people were going to latch onto that, put 2 and 2 together and come up with 4.
But done deliberately, isn't it?
I'm also going to throw this in the equation. What about if people don't know they're having their photograph taken, like here, where we see Peter Capaldi with Sue Virtue, that's Stephen Moffat's wife, and on the right there, that's Louis Theroux. Now, who gives a F that Louis Theroux's there? But Louis Theroux has been on location with the Doctor Who crew in Camden last week, wasn't he? Putting together documentary material. This could be putting 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 together and coming up with God knows what. But okay, and that does appear to be Loki standing behind Louis Theroux. I'm not sure what he's doing.
I think it's Loki. Looks like it.
But these things, and this just all comes into the brew somehow. I've no idea who the other people are, what occasion this was, but yeah, people are putting this together as well. Louis Theroux, Sue Virtue, all these people.
It's fun though. It's fun to speculate.
I think it's fun. I think it's fun. And in all seriousness,
I can think of better things to do, which are fun.
Okay.
Like,
yeah,
get a
who
life. I'm
wouldn't
willing
want
to
to
start there. Get a
who
life.
wouldn't want to see this smiling face
I
back on
would.
Doctor Who for a
Me
little
too.
while? What do you think, Charlotte?
Well, I think even if they're not in the episode, BBC are going to get them together to do panels, to do interviews. I can remember the 50th. We had a lot of the Doctors, classic and new, do like the convention circuit, do these special things for the 50th. So even if we don't see them in the episode, I think there's a good chance we will at least see, when it comes to just the actors doing
That'd be
press, doing interactions, doing all that fun around the 60th. They might not be in the episode. So
Well,
I'm
we don't
to
even
be
know if
honest,
it's an episode, Charlotte.
well, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I mean,
Speculation about
at this point, because it's all out there, nothing. We haven't got any information. That's the fact. We know certain things, but we don't know if it's a miniseries or if it's a TV movie or if it's what. We don't know. Nothing's going to break until the end of the year or beginning of next year.
Well, I mean, all I am going to say on a personal level, I am desperate. Just bring back all the surviving Doctors. I really don't care. I will never,
back as well.
ever forgive
That'd be fun.
Moffat for not bringing them back for the 50th. It was unforgivable. Stephen, if you're watching this, you will never be forgiven for that. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity. We now have that once in a lifetime opportunity repeated again. Do not blow it this time. That's all I will say.
Well,
Deep fake. That's all